So, what am I talking about when I say, you're trying to help somebody and you finding your help just isn't helping? They are not making better decisions. They are not listening to what it was you have to say. They are not improving. In fact, they could even almost be getting worse. And you're concerned or you're worried about them or you want to help them. And, it's hard to watch them go downhill and not take the advice that you're trying to share. Well, first of all, there's two things about this, about when we try to help others. There's two things we have to be very sure of. And that is that we are not trying to help somebody who doesn't want to help, or we are not trying to help because we are the one that actually needs help. This happens so often. We often try to help others and run around helping others and getting involved in things we shouldn't and wasting our precious energy and our precious health because we're the ones that are actually hurting inside. We're the ones who are ignoring something that really needs to be looked at. Or the person we're trying to help is not feeling that you are actually authentic in your service of trying to help because you actually emanate something confusing, not something comfortable, relaxing, congruent, because you have something that needs to be looked at personally and taken care of by you before you emanate the beautiful, clear, calm energy that the individual is seeking to aspire to or learn from. So that is very important to recognize in ourselves when we are giving help. Really important. It absolutely changes everything. When you do your self work, others feel it, they see it, but they feel it before they see it. So if you want to help people, help yourself. Help yourself first. Don't push down, don't stuff, don't deny. You absolutely have to take the me time that is required to take care of you because you emanate to other people if you have undone work inside of you. It's crazy. It's absolutely proven. It's absolutely true. It is unbelievable how far we've come in our understanding of people and their ability to process and decide about you before you open your mouth, before you act or do or say. I mean, we've talked about this, right? Don't go on first appearances. Don't go on first. Well, actually, we were designed and created to very intelligently decide and sort quickly, but we've allowed ourselves to get very muddled up and sort of overburdened by our ability to be capable to sort rapidly and be influenced and make decisions rapidly. And that happens because we overload ourselves and we deny and ignore ourselves and our own needs and our own self-work to keep our body and energy and spirit and whatever you call it clean and clear and free and healthy and happy. So for me, it always comes back to, are you doing your self work? Are you sorting quickly because you're clear and clean and done your time on yourself? Or are you helping because you're avoiding you and you keeping you busy doing something noble when you should be doing something about you? So that's that part of it. The other part is when you're needing help and assistance. Number one, can you ask for help? Do you struggle with that? Can you ask for help? Are you secure in yourself and feel confident that it is okay to ask someone for help? I hope this is the case because it's necessary. If it's not, then you could definitely benefit from doing your self-work so that you are confident that when you are down or faced with illness or obstacle or any of these things, you are totally cool and okay with making clear your needs to people you trust so that you can get the help you need, because life happens. Illness comes along, sadness, grief, things happen in life. So we need to process that stuff. And we need to do it in a way that is respectful to our body and our mind. And we need to be able to ask for help when needed. So, can you ask for help? Does it give you an ugh kind of feeling? Or are you free and clear? You need to be free and clear to ask for help when you need it from good people who can actually help you. The other thing is, when you're asking for help, we need to be extremely clear ourself first what our need is. So spend, whether it's minutes or time or however long, so that you can really hone down and be clear about what the need is that you require assistance with. And then the second part of that is who you ask it of. You need to work before you ever need help on having people nearby in your toolbox that can provide good help. Help that is useful to you and framed by you, because those people know you, love you, are invested in you, and they will give solid, sound advice by you, not by what they might live by, or not by what they might need, but actually have you in the forefront of mind when they give you advice on what you said you wanted your life to look like. I'm going to give you an example. I have this amazing friend. We've spent so many years together. We get together every single week, and she once ended up in hospital. She's very healthy. She takes good care of her body. I am very privy to the things that she wants to happen or not happen as she ages and steps through all the chapters of life. And she ended up in emergency with something that came on very quickly and sent her into extreme pain very quickly and had her in hospital rapidly. So she's in hospital. She is not doing well. She is not in a position to even totally understand everything the doctors and nurses are telling her, and also comprehend what her choices are. Never mind the fact that if she's in disagreement with those opportunities, what does she have to access in her toolbox that she wants to use outside of that? So I go in to see her. She looks rough. She's in pain. She's on meds. Her eyes are glossy and tired because she is trying to mitigate pain so that she can sort and decide and they can make a game plan. And I come in, and right away I can see some things. I love her. I'm calm. She is not. She is in pain, writhing and rocking and just trying to manage the pain. I come in, I can be calm for her because I can collect the things that she's told to me within a few minutes, because I remain in a peaceful state so that I can help. And I see right away, okay, she doesn't feel good and she's in pain, so obviously she can't do all the everyday things that we do that might help her, because when you're in a lot of pain, many of you know this, your cognition as well as your hope or depression level, high or low, the scale of the feeling blue can be really, really high, but it can be elevated by even the simplest of things. So I'm processing really fast, and right away I'm like, okay, first off, I'm going to come in, I'm going to brush your hair, we're going to brush your teeth, I'm going to, we're going to wash your face, give you a warm cloth and a warm wipe, and then we're going to talk about what's happening and what you're feeling at this point and how we can advocate for you, myself and your hubby. How can we best advocate for you? And quickly, I definitely, doing those quick things, realize I'm not asking her to do these things. I am just letting her know that I'm going to help her or do these things with her or for her. And that's a good way to assess. So I'm assessing my help before I help. I'm assessing her situation and her level and where she's at before I help. And I'm assessing myself, making sure and checking in with myself. constantly about whether I feel calm and I feel I'm of use while I'm in this situation and I'm not getting stressed and over the top. And for me, because of my history with Crohn's and being hospitalized and strokes, hey, I got a lot of tools in the tool belt when it comes to being in hospital, being in pain, understanding advocacy, and wishing I could have reached into my toolbox and pulled out some of the things I said I didn't want to do when currently you're in pain and you can't do that. So, okay, yep, I feel good. I'm calm. I can advocate here. Because I'm noticing as we're doing her teeth and her face washing, she is really like, I haven't seen her like this in a long friendship. I have rarely, if ever, I guess, seen her in such pain. So clearly, she's not going to be able to assess everything. So she's writhing in pain. We quickly get her freshened up a bit, and the nurse comes in and she says she's in a lot of pain. So she gives her a strong pain med. And it's, of course, through the IV. So she is unable to access much of anything other than that she's just in pain. So the pain med kicks in and she starts vomiting. And I'm like, okay, interesting. So when she's able to, regather herself and afterward, give her a bit of time and of course, just be there, just be present, not say anything, not inject anything, but just be present for her. I then ask when it's a suitable time, have you been vomiting the whole time, or is this every time you get meds? Keeping it clean, keeping it simple. When you're looking for help or when you're giving help, you got to keep it short. If you're the helper, you are not there to be invasive. You're there to be of assistance and to be calm and collected. If you are oversharing, overgiving, overpowering, you are not helping. Let me just tell you that. Because anybody under grief, stress, pain, or otherwise, the last thing they want is someone who's talking and who's bossy and who's constant and who's nattering. So I give her 2 clear, short, concise questions, and I wait for a response for however long it takes her, whenever she feels that she can respond. So she's quiet and she's in pain, but the pain is being, the edge of it's coming off because of this med, even though she vomited. And she says to me, I think I'm vomiting every single time. And her husband confirms, you know what? I think she vomits every single time she gets this med. Okay, so I call the nurse. I say, nurse, every time she gets the pain med, she's vomiting. And that brings more pain, retching the gut muscle and all that. And she's already got something going on with the bowel and the gut, and so she doesn't need this vomiting in addition to that. So I help by just very calmly and quietly walking out and saying to the nurse, I think she needs Gravol, and I think we need to find a different pain med. Anyway, the long and the short of it, the point I'm getting to, and that really, by the way, that worked. That worked beautifully. Her not retching gave her a little bit more opportunity for reflection and a little more time for resting and actual rest, because she wasn't constantly vomiting after requesting the pain med that was absolutely necessary because she was in so much pain. This is just one quick small example, but it really hits on both the major points that I'm trying to discuss with you today and share with you, and that is, when help doesn't work, what do we do? When we're giving help and it's not working, it's because that person is not ready, or your energy is not the energy that's required for them to say yes. It might be needed from somebody else or by somebody else. And just make sure that you do your self-care and your self-checks, so that when you do decide you're going to utilize some of your energy and you're going to assist and help others, that you're in a really calm, peaceful place. You have no agenda. It's not because you've got a gaping hole that you're giving help. You're giving help because you know that your cup is full enough that you can give in this area, and that you might be of assistance with your wisdom or your kindness. And the less talking when giving help, the better. So on on the other aspect was receiving help. And if you are looking for good help, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to do that homework beforehand. And that is finding a person or people and spending time forging good, solid relationships. And as you grow closer and as you care and respect each other, building basically a toolbox of people who can help you when you can't help yourself. So I hope that's of use to you today. I wanted to share this because all of these things have affected my life and affected people I've cared about. And I've been greatly frustrated in the past when I've tried to help someone I love and it doesn't help, and vice versa. I've needed help, didn't want to ask for it, which is not healthy. And then later in life, when I could ask for help and I asked the right people and they knew me, help came easily, rapidly, and I accessed and remembered and recalled tools that I said I wanted in times of pain, grief, or difficulty. So please invest in yourself. And if you invest in others, make sure you've invested in you first. All right. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to sharing with you on the next podcast. And please comment if there's anything that you want me to share on the next podcast. I would love that. Are there any topics that you would like me to talk on? I would be happy to do that. All right. Cheers.